We've got Rob Spalding with us, a U.S. Air Force Brigadier General, author of the bestseller War Without Rules. General, very good to have you. Let me first get your take on this movement we're watching in Iran. They're shifting some positions around, moving some things around. They seem to be preparing for something, also coordinated with some proxies of theirs. What do you make of all of that?
Well, I sure don't expect them to do anything directly against Israel because I don't think their forces are up to it. I do expect them to use proxies. Hamas is pretty much defeated in Gaza, so perhaps Hezbollah, perhaps some proxy forces that are operating out of Syria is what I would expect from the Iranians at this point.
So the next question then becomes what to do about Israel's response to that, whether through proxies or, Iran itself. And apparently, General, we had been telling Israel to carefully weigh any response to such an attack, adding its potential that it could further spark escalation. I imagine the Israeli response to that will be, well, we'll take it from here. But what did you make of that?
Well, and there would be the same response that we would have if somebody was going to advise us on how we might respond in terms of defending ourselves. And so I think that's, it's nice, but ultimately the Israelis are going to do what they think is best for them.
I guess that's where the escalating fears come in, General. Right? I know you and I have talked about this before, that assuming that Israel is attacked either directly or indirectly through some of these proxies by Iran, it is almost assuredly going to respond. It is already indicated that likely that would be within Iran itself, maybe take out some of these nuclear facilities. I guess our reading into that is an escalation and all bets are off. Do you concur?
Well, if you look at the region, the Houthis have been doing things. Hezbollah, has been silent, but they're capable. Then you've got ISIS operating out of Syria. So, I wouldn't say that Iran has been necessarily silent. I mean, you can trace October 7th directly to them. So, their ability to escalate at this point in terms of real military force just really is limited to their proxies. And I think the Israelis can handle that. And furthermore, I think this is a good opportunity for us to think about taking out the nuclear capability that they're advancing. They're close to getting weapons.
Do you think that invites the Russians or the Chinese to get involved?
Well, Neil, as I've said before, they're already involved. They're supporting Iran. It's mutually supporting. They're supporting Iran, the Russians both, and the Chinese are supporting both with resources. So this is already happening. It's almost kind of theater to think that we would, restrain ourselves from defending what has been active attacks that have been ongoing since October 7th in the region.
The start of this war, more to the point on October 7th. General, stepping back to something that Christopher Wray was mentioning in testimony this week, where he detailed all these terror threats, and not saying they're all, being triggered by what's going on in the Middle East, but that's sort of galvanizing a lot of bad guys, essentially, all over the world. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with it, but I'm more concerned about the fact that we've let millions across our border. So now you couple the fact that there's a legitimate threat and you've got millions of people operating in the country that potentially could be part of that threat. That's the thing that I think that concerns me. Moreover, I think just in terms of FISA, I do think it's okay to want a warrant when it involves a U.S. citizen, and I'm not sure why we couldn't get there.
You mentioned these terror threats at the border. Of course, you're familiar with this Afghan national, who was on the terror watch list, who was let go twice. Now he's finally back in custody. But every time I hear stories like that, General, I worry about the ones who did get away and who were released.
Unfortunately, law enforcement, particularly as we're dealing with illegal aliens in the country, has been lax. I mean, you look at the guy that is a repeat offender, just stole a boat in New York, and they let him out, and he's just tried to steal another one. So this is going on in all our major cities, and so when you couple that with this terror threat, it's kind of terrifying to note that our law enforcement just isn't what it should be, and that's a part of our defense.
General, one of the great things I enjoy about talking to you is your sweeping sense of history, particularly military history and terror history. And what scares me about this, and it hit me when I even talked to my kids, a couple of whom were born after 9/11. And so for this and for them, this is the stuff that's in history books. guys like our age, of course, we lived through it. It defined who we are and how we think. And I wonder whether we're getting too sanguine about this, too, relaxed about, oh, yeah, the terror threat, we get it. Even what Christopher Wray was saying kind of fell on deaf ears. Yeah, it's a threat we heard about. Yeah, we heard about the Moscow attack in the theater and all that. I guess it could happen here, but almost like a shrugged shoulder response. What'd you make of that?
Well, we're blending now all the elements of the terror war with all of the challenges we faced during the first Cold War. They're coming together, both the nuclear threat, a cyber threat, infrastructure threat, and then you have the terror threat. So, and we're just not prepared, I think, at this point because of, the COVID and what it did to our economy, inflation. We're just our industrial base. There are so many things that we're behind the eight ball on. Whereas, for both those situations, the Cold War and the war on terror, we were actually kind of at the height of our game. Now we're kind of on the back foot on both elements. So big global national threat from the Cold War type threats. And then you have these terror threats they've never really gone away. So, yeah, it's probably one of the most challenging times in our country from a national security perspective that we've faced.
Yeah, we're so used to the warnings that we tend to ignore them. General, thank you more for your incredible service to this country, sir. Rob Spalding, U.S. Air Force Brigadier General, author of War Without Rules. And remember, when it comes to terrorists, that is their motto, war without rules. If you think about it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.